Hi, this is Dr. Ricardo of the Department of Anatomy and Cell Biology, School of Medical Sciences, University of Cape Coast. I come your way again with the part 3 of the female reproductive system. We want to now cover the cervix, vagina, mammary gland, and then the placenta. Placenta is formed by the combination of maternal and the fetal portion. So right from week 3, where you have the trilaminar disc, and even prior to that, where you have the embryoblast, the trophoblast, which will split into syncytial trophoblast and then cytotrophoblast. So from this, you have the cytotrophoblast, the syncytial trophoblast, which is invading the endometrium and then forming this network. You're going to have maternal blood in red there. Then you have the fetal portion where the cytotrophoblast and syncytial trophoblast are getting connected to that of the maternal region. And you have these villi, which are also projections into the maternal portion, towards the maternal portion, but it is actually at the fetal region. So once the connection is established, you are going to have secondary villi, that is syncytial trophoblast, you have cytotrophoblast, developing vessels in the wall of the chorionic sac, and then that's the endometrium. So the chorion or chorionic sac or chorionic plate is actually formed from the cytotrophoblast and the syncytial trophoblast. Okay, then you also have a portion of the extraembryonic somatic mesoderm. That is the somatic portion. Okay, or help form the chorion, which will also help in the formation of the chorionic plate. So at a further development, you are going to have tertiary villus. So you have more branching going on. Remember the maternal blood in red, and now you have intervillous spaces also filled with blood this time around. You didn't have much of this intervillous space earlier on, but now they have also formed lacunae with blood vessel. That's the maternal sinusoid. That's maternal blood. So you can see that now a blood network is being formed. So for the placenta, you can easily recognize a maternal portion and then a fetal portion. So the fetal portion where you have the chorionic plate, which is this flat, straight, structure, chorionic plate, within which you have the umbilical vessels penetrating and then forming villi, okay, extending into the maternal portion. So you have a primary stem villus, and then the branching will continue until you have tertiary ones. There's characteristic in this nature where you have 3 blood vessels. Okay, so you have 1 vein and then 2 arteries. It's so characteristic of that location. That's the myometrium, that's endometrial vein, endometrial spiral artery, as a basal plate, and then these extensions that go into the intervillous space here is going to form the cotyledons, and this will be so prominent on the maternal side in a physical placenta. When you look at it, you will see these cotyledons forming, some ridges and projecting outwards. So this is the decidual basalis, which is the most important portion of the maternal side of the placenta. So whenever you hear of decidual basalis, always remember maternal portion. You have other decidual as well. You have the decidual capsularis, for instance, also. However, the decidual basalis is always connected to the maternal side. So again, that's the chorionic plate formed from the syncytiocytal and then the somatopleuric of the extraembryonic somatic mesoderm. You have the amnion there, and then you have this decidual septum extending from the decidual basalis towards the chorionic plate. So that's the decidual basalis. That will be the myometrium direction, trophoblastic shell, villous tree, villous stem, and obviously the chorionic plate. That's the fetal component and the maternal component. So you see, the pseudo basalis has been also outlined here clearly for the maternal portion. In a micrograph, this is what you see for placenta. It doesn't look like anything so characteristic. Okay, haphazardly placed like a maze. But this particular outline is something you should be looking out for. Okay. So you come across something like that. So you can see this kind of shape, that kind of shape with some blood vessels within it. It's very characteristic of the placenta and usually more connected to the fetal portion. So that is what you have here. So that is maternal blood, and then this is the fetal blood. So this spherical mass, you usually find most of the fetal parts there. So that is the syncytial trophoblast there. You have the macrophages, the half bowel cells also located there. That will be the intervillous space. The fibroblasts also there. So this is just a drawing showing you the architecture of the placenta, especially the fetal portion. You have cytotrophoblast there, and then the yellow portion will be the syncytial trophoblast. That's the half bowel cell. The microvilli, the fetal capillary is formed, another fetal capillary, right? So this is the early stage, and this is a later stage. Because at this point, you have only one fetal capillary. Now they have multiplied. Because you want to establish a rich capillary network. So again, chorionic villi, that should tell you that you are looking at the fetal portion. So that should be cytotrophoblast and then syncytial trophoblast. That is fetal red cells. And then you also have villous capillary. So that is fetal blood in villous capillary. Remember that oval spherical shape structure we saw earlier on. Intervillous space, maternal blood. So this is late placenta, early placenta. So in a placenta, you usually find oval spherical masses, okay, with blood vessels within them. Have bowel cells also. So that's chorionic plate, villous tree, decidia, basalis. So we are going towards the maternal portion more. Then here we are going towards the fetal portion. So this is where the umbilical cord will be inserted.